At 2 years old, Alice went into the operating theatre to be fitted with her first cochlear implant. It's an extremely intricate and skilled type of surgery, but also very invasive, and with this condition there's no guarantee that it could work. Mr. Salvadore diagnosed Alice with ANSD, and he did the surgery for both her cochlear implants. He explains more about the condition.
It's become clear that these conditions are more prevalent in children who have a very difficult time at the beginning of life. So children who are very premature, children who go to the special care baby unit, particularly if they have to be ventilated, children who have jaundice, and children who have a serious episode of illness very early on after they're born. They're all more likely to have auditory neuropathy spectrum disorder than other children. It's also become clear that it can run in certain families, although that's extremely unusual. The problem really arises around children like Alice, who don't have any other problems and had a very straightforward start, and then have this underlying condition because no one's expecting them to have a hearing loss. And actually, if anything, they've had a screening test and they've passed it, so it can't be their hearing. And that sort of perception that actually everything must be fine, we passed our hearing test, that can mislead you for quite a long time. All parents whose children are diagnosed as being profoundly deaf, almost always we see that parents initially do feel as though they should have known, and it's impossible for them to know. Generally speaking, it really is very, very difficult. And I think the longer it is before you start to realise there's a problem, then inevitably the more responsible you feel about it. And Alice is a very bright and sparky child, and you would not think that there might be a significant problem with this aspect of her development. Within areas of interest and expertise, say within cochlear implant centres, then the knowledge base for it is improving very rapidly. But I think within the wider audiological community, because it's technically complex in terms of how it comes about and the nature of the test results that you see, it is something that we need to raise people's awareness of. And particularly when you think that it can take so long for the unusual ones like Alice to get through and to be spotted and to be treated properly. The results from treatment can be very, very good, and so it's important that we do the best for these children.
Alice's implant is working well for her since having it switched on.
Good girl! Alice, well done!
And she continues to make regular visits to her audiologist, Darvel Mehta.
How is that? Is it too loud, or is it just a little bit loud?
A bit too loud.
Okay, that's fine. Give me 2 minutes.
It's so difficult to tell what's just her.
Yeah, what's loud and what's too loud. Yeah. Okay. She comes and performs test for us now. You can see the responses are very, very consistent, which was not happening before the implant. So there is a huge difference in terms of her behavior, her self-confidence, what she's doing in terms of school. She's doing remarkably well. Ooh.
Ooh.
Shh. Well done, you. That's very good. This condition is very rare. Because of that, parents were actually not sure whether to go with 2 implants or whether there was a chance that Alice might actually improve on her neuropathy side. And that's why I think parents actually thought about just going for 1 implant to start with, see what Alice is actually getting in terms of responses. But when they saw the response was really, really good, they definitely thought about the 2nd implant. So most of the parents actually go for bilateral implants, but in cases like ANSD, it's still unknown. And that's why parents are actually in a dilemma when they decide about 2 implants, whether to go for 1 or to go for 2.
At first, it wasn't easy to find a school that would take Alice, but she now attends a mainstream school where she receives additional support.
She's now in year 1 and really thriving, and I think that it would be hard for anyone to know that in fact her language was delayed early on. She's picking up so well.
Good girl.
The children in the class are somewhat aware that she's got something behind her ears, her processors, but they're used to her being in the class and actually just accept Alice for the way she is. We've explained to them about the fact that we wear a microphone and that we have a speaker in the class to help her and other children hear clearly, and they just treat her as one of the other girls in the class.
Alice has settled really well in class. She's come into a new class in Prep 1, new teachers, and she's settled in beautifully. My job is really to make sure that she's in the best learning environment, really, that to check in with her that she's heard what the teacher's saying and that the sound field system is working for her.
But this isn't the end of the Campbell's story. The latest addition to the family, Oliver, was born just over 5 months ago, and within 48 hours was also diagnosed as having ANSD. Because the condition is rarely genetic, the family was still shocked when told the news.
When they told me, it was almost like being told with Alice, when we'd gone into a room not expecting something and not even having really considered it, and you came out having been told the same thing again. Ow. But now we've got Oliver as well, knowing, as we do, he has the same problem. You look for it, but you still wouldn't know. And that's which kind of, I think, makes us feel a bit better about it.
Because I watch Oliver, because he's now 5 months, I watch him every day and think, if I didn't know, would I know? And I, in a funny kind of way, trying to make myself feel better for the missed opportunity with Alice, I guess. And I do, I sort of, I watch him turn to every tiny visual clue, no matter how small. He's very good at doing that.
I don't think there was ever really any sadness. I mean, certainly not for ourselves. We've never felt sorry for ourselves in this, and we've been very, very keen not to do that, because this isn't about us at the end of the day. I mean, you look at your beautiful, perfect child and you think, whatever path you take in life, it's going to be slightly different and perhaps a bit more of a battle for you than some of your peers, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but the reality is it's just that's just life. Bingo! Can you pop that one on, please?
No.
Go on, please.
Why?
Because I say so.
Why?
Because I say so.
Why?
Because I say so.
As ANSD is different from other forms of deafness, the Campbells started a blog called Alice's Ears as a way to keep family and friends informed, but also to help other parents who have children with the condition.
You'll be looking at along with me.
Well done. You are ever so clever, so aren't you? You clever girl.
We're immensely proud of Alice's achievements, and I think we just want to sort of shout that from the rooftops and give someone else a hand to hold, even if it's a virtual hand. In many ways, we're sort of still learning, having a teeny tiny deaf baby that we know about.
It can work out fine, and it can be, it can be brilliant. And I think sometimes people just want to hear that.
If you'd like to find out more about the condition or continue to follow the Campbell story, visit the See Here website for more information.